Welcome back. I'm back with another pickup. I've had quite a few pickups the last few weeks. I picked up the oxidized Jordan 4s, but they didn't really impress me, so they're going to go back. I've picked up the size exclusive Gazelle indoors, really love them, definitely a keeper. I picked up the Jordan 1 denims and I'll do a review on them hopefully. The pair that I've been most excited about, apart from the size pair, is this pair of 180s, which I've had my eye on since images were available on the internet. So this is the Air Max 180 in the Alabaster and Dusty Cactus colorway. So I'm going to run through my thoughts and feelings on these, talk a little bit about sizing, all the usual good stuff. So if this is the kind of thing that you like, these are the kind of trainers that you would buy, then this is definitely a channel for you. I love all things Air Max. Please drop a like, drop a subscribe, share it, comment, all that good stuff. All right, let's talk about the trainer. So at the moment, I'm definitely on what I would call a kind of nostalgia wave. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and then I've had this issue where I've been buying the wrong size in lots of trainers for a while. So I'm having to reevaluate my collection, and what I'm finding easiest to get rid of at the moment is some of my Jordan 4s, which don't really fit me and I haven't worn, and just all trainers actually. The way I've been kind of looking at things is if I haven't worn a trainer in a year, then probably I need to look at moving them on. So there's quite a few pairs that I've been selling and moving on, and that has allowed me to have space and also the money to pick up pairs. And the pairs that I've been drawn to, even though I'm trying my best to cut things down, as I always say, the pairs that I've been really drawn to have been the older 90s silhouettes. What I'm interested and Nike's been doing, and I think part of this is because they've been in a bit of a slump, Nike seem to have been digging into the vault and digging out older silhouettes that are a bit more obscure, but people like me will remember and loved. And they're also respecting the fact that we want the mastered OG versions, the remastered, retooled versions. And that's been the case for a few years with Air Max. I know that a lot of my subscribers are American, and it is worth saying that I think that in Europe and certainly in the UK and everyone I know, Air Max are king. And we love 90s, we love BWs. Those are the silhouettes that I fell in love with all those years ago and still love to this day. This brings me on a little bit to the pair of 180s. I've never owned a pair of 180s. I've done reviews, there's been pairs, there was a size exclusive probably about 4 or 5 years ago that I really liked and I got, but I couldn't get on with them size wise. And again, that's my issue. I'd probably buy a 10.5 when I needed an 11. And then the Ultramarines dropped, and that's an iconic pair of trainers, no doubt. I love them, and they are special to me because I do remember being at high school and seeing all the ads, all the technology of the bubble being visible for 180 degrees. It was just amazing, and that kind of intrigue has never left. So I just love all things 80s, 90s Air Max, and I think I would like to have like one pair of 180s, one pair of BWs, couple Air Max 90s, just Air Techs. Can't wait for Air Techs to come back. So when the Ultramarines come out, I never loved that colorway. It's a bit like my relationship with the Air Max 90. I've never loved the orange OG Air Max 90 men's colorway. I've always loved different versions, but not that particular one, which is synonymous with the OG version. And although I recognize the Ultramarine version of the 180 is the classic, when I saw this pair, this was the pair that I was drawn to. I don't think, I could be wrong, and I'm happy for you to educate me in the comments, I don't think this is an OG colorway. I've been seeing Air Max 90s over the years and been considering picking up pairs, and this is the first pair that I'm really drawn towards because it's been remastered and retooled as it used to be, and I want the original. That's what I want. I want those little details that really matter to me and remind me of back in the day. So the first thing is the box, and it looks like an old school box. Some of the old school 80s branding is definitely apparent. It's got 180 written on it, and it's just got some of those touches that remind me of the products that I used to have back in those days. So I love the box, I love the fact that it's something different. It's not one of those boring red and white Nike boxes that we're used to, and they seem to pump out with so many releases when they can do different things. Let's run through the trainer. So Nike, as I said before, have been remastering and retooling many of their Air Max models, and for me that kind of started with the Recraft project, and they recrafted and reset the Air Max 90 back to how it used to be. And so there are little touches, like you will get the labeling like you used to get in the 90s on the original models. You'll get that included alongside the more modern labeling system, and you have that here in that you have this kind of stamping on the inside of the trainer with some of the details. The Air Max 180 comes with kind of like a bit of like a sock, a bit like a Huarache, an elasticated inner section that kind of is detachable from the rest of the trainer, and that makes its fit quite nice. One of the things that I love that takes me back, I don't know if I can get a good shot of it, is it's got that international symbol there, which was such a big part of, I remember having a school bag with that international thing on. All the kind of jacketing had that. I don't really know what kind of sub brand that was, but it's nice to see that international labeling on this trainer. I know they've retooled it so that the heel is much kind of longer and exactly how it used to be, and I'm not going to go over all the features of the Air 180, except that it was definitely one of those iconic Air Max releases that I really remember. I remember all the advertising and marketing for it, and that's kind of caught up in my love for having a pair. Really nice colours, this kind of mareenish blue around the air bubble. The air bubble is really solid, absolutely solid, like feels almost impenetrable on the kind of side. Underneath it feels much softer, and that's a really nice touch, I think, of those of the trainer. On the heel you've got Nike Air stitched in, and then you've got 180 stamped into the back, 180 degrees of visibility of the air bubble, and it was a gimmick back then, but we were blown away by it, definitely. I remember when they came out, people said, oh, I've seen those 180s and the way the air bubble goes all the way around the bottom, and a couple of people might have had them, but as you can imagine, they were well out of our league price wise, so hardly anyone in kind of my school or whatever had them. You've then got that blue colour kind of stamped into the, or heat pressed into the tongue. Then the rest of it is just black, really, black meshing, black kind of, I would say it's synthetic, not canvas material all around. Then you've got some mesh, breathable mesh, and then the other colour apart from the black and this ultramarine blue is an off-white, like maybe it's a dusty cactus, I'm not sure, but it's like a, I would say a creamy yellow colour, which is on the swoosh and on the bottom hit of the outsole. You've got the waffle with those little nipples. In terms of the aquamarine sold out, I was surprised actually at how much they flew out, because these are all trainers that have been releasing over the last every 3 or 4 years, and many times, most of the times I'd say 180s just sit and go to sale, but I think people want these remastered versions, and maybe they're making smaller quantities. This pair hasn't been released on too many websites. It's currently on End, where I got mine from. Nike haven't loaded it up yet on sneakers that I can see as I'm recording, and Size have got them in women's. I imagine they will be pumped to many retailers. If that's the case, then it might be the kind of thing where they're not flying off like the aquamarines were, so if I can get these for cheaper, if I need to send these back and then buy them again when they go on the sale, I'll do that, because I like to save money. But I'm really happy with these. I've tried them on briefly. I'm not a big Air 180s. I don't have loads of pairs of 180s, so, and they feel relatively comfortable. I could feel it was a bit narrow in the toe box, but I'll try them on and see how they feel. But I'll throw these on feet and see what you guys think. What are your thoughts and feelings on this colourway? Are you a fan of the aquamarine OGs, or have you got loads of pairs? Let me know what kind of the details are, whether this is an OG pair or not. So overall, this is a trainer that I'm happy with. They cost £135, which is a lot of money. I always say that, but it is really when you put it in perspective. But I think that it is worth it. I don't feel like you're being conned with this release. Yes, the materials aren't premium, but they're decent. They could be better. They could be, like this swoosh could be a lovely full grain leather, but you know, I also need to kind of move away from just relying on leather all the time. It is, you know, I'm a believer in sustainability, so it's good to have synthetic materials as well. I appreciate that. I think they fit well. Sizing, I would stay true to size. These are a size 11 and these fit me fine. So all my Air Maxes, apart from Air Max 97s, I get in a UK 11. Air Max 97s I get in a 10.5, and they're fine. So these fall in line with my BWs, my Air Max 90s. Also my Air Max 1s I get in a 10.5 as well, but I'm either 10.5 or 11, and in these I've gone with an 11 and these fit fine. They do have that sock lining, so I think they are a little bit snug, so it's not the kind of shoe I would go half down on or anything like that. Material's okay, price point's okay, execution's good, I would say, so I definitely would recommend this as a pickup. Old school, you can't beat like the nostalgia for trainers like this. And I think even if you're like a newer trainer head, newer sneaker head, and you just want to pick these up because they look good, then that's all good as well. You know, I think these silhouettes are pretty classic because they have aged so well. Let me know what your thoughts and feelings are on this model and this colorway. And as always, please like, please subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.